Awesome. Alright, continuing on where we left off in the second video. I'll pop back up. My stuff, where's my stuff? Here it is. Okay, so where we left off last time is that we just created a like a three-dimensional mask for whatever, so essentially whatever like mesh we put our volumetric fog on. I forgot to click apply. It's going to try and create a mask from its base to its the top part of the object, where we can determine how much of the mesh should be filled with fog. And normally for this, we're actually going to well, this is not what we're going to be doing right now, but essentially we're going to be inverting this at some point in the process, where the white part at the bottom is going to be visible and the black part at the top isn't, because the fog is going to be settled at the bottom, which I think I might be able to show off a bit. Yeah, there we go. This is like kind of the mask that we're going for, where the top post part of our mesh is kind of translucent isn't the word, but the fog is going to be billowing through at the bottom, and then we can control the height of how much it fills up the volume. Put this back over here. But this is where we are at right now. So let me delete this one minus no because we don't need it. Cool beans. Okay, so what we want to do next is, let me click this. What was I doing? I entirely forgot. Okay, so we have our height mask. That's this component B, this mask B right here. We have something that can control the height of our mask. We'll invert this later. Last thing I want to do is create a named route, which will be our fog mask, which we can use later. And I just want to make sure everything is kind of lined up goodly. Q. There we go. Lovely. Okay, let's see. From our divide node right here, I'll go ahead and construct this right now. I'm going to want to get the distance. I want to get a distance node and utilities distance. And what I want to do is, I guess it's easier to show it. I'll drag off from B. I'll type in constant. I'm going to put in 0.5. And I don't have to open up all these nodes. It's just, I don't know why I like doing that, but I do. Okay, let's see. So what I'm doing right now is, why are you big screen? There we go. Okay, that's better. Holy God, what is this? Oh, I clicked a different button. Okay. I forgot what I was saying. Okay, so I got a distance node and I gave its B a constant of 0.5. What I want to do is, if I click this right now, it should look like there's a little bit of black in the center of like each face, and then it goes billows out to white at the end. A bit hard to see. I think I would have to. Well, if I invert this, it actually might be a bit easier to see. 1 minus. Let me play this. Yeah, okay. So you can see like a little bit of like, white at the center and darkness at the edges. Right now we're trying to control like, does the fog extend to the, exact ends of the object that we're putting it on? Or can we like, kind of feather it out as it gets to the edge of our bounds. So the black part is not visible, or at least black is not visible, white is. We can see it's like, feathering as it gets to the edges of our mesh. We can control this with a little bit of like multiplication and some math. So let's see, I'll delete my 1 minus node. I just did that for previewing purposes. Let me type in multiply. open the zip. I have to get new batteries for my mouse. And let's see. I'm going to add in a scalar. Scalar. Not blue noise. Right click. Scale. God damn it. Scalar parameter. This will be, I'm going to call this hardness. And default value, I'll set this to 1. Oh, Jesus. Oh my god. And I will put a slider max of 1. I will subtract 2 from this. Open these up just so I can see what they're doing. That's fine. And I'll put this into my multiply. Hit apply. That's 20. That's not 2. There we go. Oh my god. Oh my god. 2, please. Not 0.2. Oh my god. 2. There we go. Nice. And let's see what we're looking at. Okay, it's a bit faint. But let's see if I think I did this right. Yeah, okay. So if we go down to 0, we can see like the fog will be, well, our box is completely white, so the fog will be at the edges of our whatever bounds is in. But if I drag this over to 1, which I put as its maximum, the fog is going to be mostly contained in the center, and then it's going to fade out towards the edges, and I have to invert this so that the edges are black and the center is white. I think that's the very next step. 1 minus. Let's preview it. There we go. Yeah. And we don't have to do like this subtract 2 thing. I believe this, so we're kind of creating like I guess if I take this off, put it down to 0, and then mess with my hardness. Oh, I do need it. Oh, what am I thinking of? It cranks up to 5. That's too much. 3, 2. Oh, interesting. 1. I forgot why this has to be 2. That's that's my mistake. But okay. We're controlling how thick this, or how feathered this mask is supposed to be. So this would look horrible. We need this to be 2. So we're just controlling the feathering. Cool. That makes sense for fog. Okay, let's see. I think that's all I need for now. We're gonna leave this as it is. We're gonna connect this up in a second. Essentially, this is going to go into a multiply, and we're going to be multiplying this extinction mask that we just made times we're multiplying it with the like cloud texture that we're going to put in, and that's going to give us the effect of the bounds extinction mask being black up here, but having the cloud texture below at the bottom. But we have to make that first for it to work. Okay, but hopefully, at least seeing some of these node visualizations of how the hardness, or whether the fog is at the edges of the bounds, or just contained to the middle, and the masking of the height of masking, controlling the height of the fog, whether it's at the base of it only, or whether it can extend up into the top corners of the fog. So super dense at the bottom, super light will be at the very top. Again, we have to, with the fog mask we have here, we're gonna invert this so that we have the black at the very top where not a lot of fog should be, and then white at the bottom. Hopefully seeing these kind of visualizations, even if you never want to do this yourself, it kind of makes somewhat sense if you have to go in and change it. Well, that's why I gave you guys all the code in class. But yeah, okay. So what I want to do next is I'm actually going to, for now, I'm actually going to finish out this line. Wait 1 sec, I'm missing one step. Wasn't thinking at all. For material domain, so I was clicked on material, I think, but multiply before. I clicked away just in the graph. These are changes from surface to volume. And we can see now we have this extinction node right here. I was wondering why I didn't see that. If I change this back to surface, it goes away. We get like the world offset position. But if I change this to volume, extinction. This is what we want. Okay, so let's see. At least for now, I'm going to set this to 1. This is going to be like a whole nother graph chain. I'll set that to 1. I'll click preview to see what it's doing. I think I'm just looking at the feathering for the edges right now. I'll multiply this again. I'll look to see what it's looking like. It's multiplying by 1. Does not do anything. I'll change this to a higher number. I think 4. This should make, I think, it okay, yeah. It's adding a little more like contrast to the feathering. And let's see. Multiply it one more time. Multiply one more time. It's times 1. It doesn't really matter. And I will create a scalar parameter. Call this opacity. And I'll get this as 1. Darn it, I keep hitting that. Okay. So he's upped the contrast of the feathering. So it's really only feathering out at the very edges of our bounds. And let's see. Do I want to cap this? I'll cap the opacity at 1. Darn it. And I'll plug this into the extinction. This might... No, that's fine, because I'm previewing the node. So that's all good. And if I want, I can make this its own scalar variable if I want to really adjust its contrast. I think if I bring this down to like 2 or something, it'll be a little more feathered again. Yeah. So I can make this its own variable, and I can really like change how much of the feathering I would want at the edge of my bounds. But for now, I'll leave it as in my other one. Cool, I just wanted to set that up because I'll have to do it eventually anyway. Okay, so with that, I will highlight all this, press C to create a comment, and call this my fog bounds. Show bubble, just make this black just so I know what this is trying to do. We're just trying to mask out the height so we can like adjust how much of the volume is going to be filled with fog, and control how much feathering we have towards the edges of our fog volume. So most of the fog is going to be in the center, then feathers out towards the edges. Okay, hopefully that made some sort of sense. It's like this stuff is hard for me to grasp. I don't really go into it a lot, but I do find it very interesting. So I'm trying to make sure you guys at least know somewhat of how this works if you're trying to implement, volumetric fog yourself. But with that, I'll pause here, and in the next video we'll get to do the texturing.